London, and he joins me to discuss this. Thanks so much for joining me. We have just about 3 minutes to quickly have this conversation, so we see how much we can make best use of our time. But so, if you look at this latest trend, given the scale of these attacks, what can you tell us about the strategic importance of Beit Lahia and northern Gaza in the broader context of the ongoing conflict between Israel, Gaza, and Lebanon?
Well, I think that what is strategic about it is because we know, for instance, that Gaza, part of Gaza was occupied until 2005 when the former Prime Minister Ariel Sharon agreed to withdraw Israeli troops and Israeli settlements and dismantle Israeli settlements in Gaza. And I think that the UN and other international agencies are beginning to see a pattern of destruction in northern Gaza as a prelude to reoccupying Gaza, and that will be a bit of a concern. And I think that in this time and age, in this time when a lot of international actors are beginning to ask for a ceasefire on the back of Yahya Sinwar's death, it's concerning that ultra-right individuals in Netanyahu's government have their own plan, which is about expansion, which is about land grab. And we are seeing that manifest itself in that.
That's right. But then it's so many things to talk about. But if you look at what the international community is doing, the global community has expressed outrage over the loss of civilian lives, and there have been calls for accountability on both sides. How do you think the key international players such as the US, the EU, and the UN responding to these attacks? Is there any viable mechanism to hold parties accountable, especially with the U.S. double standards on this unwarranted war on the Palestinian people and even Lebanon?
Well, the U.S. Secretary of State is visiting the Middle East once again for the 11th time since last year, and obviously the last 10 times have not yielded any massive results. What we are hoping is that there will be much more attempt to force the Netanyahu government to uphold its international obligations and follow international law in the prosecution of the war against Hamas and Hezbollah. And particularly, we're hoping that access to humanitarian aid will be given to Gaza residents who have been under a lot of bombardment for the last 1 year. I think that is the least that we can ask the Netanyahu government to do, which is to grant access to humanitarian aid and to relieve some of the suffering that Gazan residents have been experiencing.
Absolutely. So much to talk about, but then we just have to leave it here for now. Global Affairs Analyst, Dr. Bola Adejiran, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Very quickly before we go, a residential building collapsed in the Kenyan capital, Nairobi, leaving several people fear-trapped. Cases of buildings caving in are not uncommon in the country, often as a result of shoddy construction and flouted regulations. The 8-story building in Kahua West, a densely populated neighborhood north of the capital, had been condemned for demolition. Several families were fear-trapped under the rubble, the Kenyan Red Cross has said on Twitter. The collapse sparked a swarm of onlookers to the scene, sandwiched between high-rise buildings and a church. Catherine Wajiko, who had lived in the building since 2017, told sources that she was lucky to have escaped with her life. According to a Nairobi County document, and the building had been constructed and occupied without the requisite approvals. And with that, it's a wrap on World Now. Thanks so much for watching. For more updates on the stories we're monitoring, you can visit our website, www.tvcnews.tv. You can also follow us on our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, and on X at TVC News NG. We're live on YouTube at TVC News Nigeria. Many thanks for watching.